Welcome to Not Another Baptist Pod or Road Trip. I'm Matt Hensley, pastor of May Hill Baptist in May Hill, New Mexico, and I'm joined as always by Kyle. This is not Kyle. As you can tell, this is a good-looking young man. His name is Jeremy Casella because Kyle is on his way to Las Cruces, and I'm on my way taking this handsome young man to El Paso Airport to drop him off. He came in El Paso, Tejas. He came and did a concert for us last night. Had a wonderful time of song and storytelling, and so we have been driving now for. It seems like we spent more time driving together than actually you playing and so forth.
A lot of driving.
It's been a lot of driving. This is a long little
desert.
It is beautiful desert of nothingness, barrenness, and it's incredible. But we were talking just a moment ago about the opportunity that's really afforded to us in hymns. And so I thought I would just start the video here, and that you can tell some of our listeners just a little special opportunity for them to hear from your heart what is afforded to us with old hymn text when we're talking about ministry in the church and worship ministry in the church, because many of our listeners are Baptists. We're in church revitalization or church replanting or church planters that are listening to this, and so sometimes we think the best way forward is the top 20 Christian praise and worship charts put out by WOW or whatever. That's what we need to be singing, and many of those can be great, but you also have a heart for some of those rich, deep, meaningful, old as dirt hymns out there.
Right.
And tell us why you think that's important for churches.
Well, it helps you sing the gospel. So a lot of, whether it's an old hymn or a new kind of current song, whatever, doesn't really matter to me as much as it matters, as much as it is what is it that we're saying when we sing these songs? What's going to help our people, or your people, or me, or you, or anyone who's a believer, sing the gospel out loud? So at church, whether it's in a planting situation or a replanting situation, or just a church that's been around for a really long time and is thriving, in any of those sort of circumstances, you're saying the gospel and the creeds and the prayers and the sermon. Hopefully, often the gospel's being
maybe not
preached.
Kyle, but I do.
Okay, good. Well, in your church, okay, and but you also need to sing it, right? And so all these ways that we participate in the gospel, living the gospel out, and doing the gospel corporately. One of the most important ways, I think, is singing it, because it connects these ideas that we have so often in our heads. Singing is a way for it to connect to our hearts so that we can live it out. And so what's so unique to me about the old hymns is that they're old, yes, and a lot of them have fallen out of use because of their age. There's, for a while they were sort of viewed as passé or not relevant anymore. But if you read the texts of these hymns, they're so rich and so beautiful that a lot of times all that's needed is to just retune them, put a new tune to the text, so that we can sing these songs again and kind of connect our heads and our hearts in a fresh kind of way by singing the gospel that's so eloquently contained in the hymns of these songs. And I think there's also, we need something that's rooted to give us roots and wings. And the church, my friend Kevin Twitt in Nashville, who founded this movement, Indelible Grace, which I'm associated with, where we take old hymns and set them to new music. He makes the point that the church is not a passing fad, right? So everything we're doing is rooted in history and rooted in God's history of what He's been doing to build His kingdom and His church in this world. And so the hymns are old, but they are rooted. And so that's what we need. We need roots to connect us to the past, but we also need a vision that doesn't rob us of our sort of hope for the future. And so these hymns, they root us in the past, but the gospel, singing the gospel out loud, gives us wings to move into the future. So we need both roots and we need wings. Fresh vision for the future, but a deep sense of connectedness to the past. And so hymns kind of get into all that. They kind of cross into all those territories. And I think it's pretty unique and pretty powerful.
And so you mentioned Indelible Grace, and that was how I think we were introduced, was through that music.
Right.
Y'all have done, 10
10 albums.
10 albums.
Yeah.
You've got like a hymn book out of most of your catalog.
Yeah, we did
with the chords.
The RUF hymnal, which Kevin put together, and yes, it's got all those songs in it.
And so then we can attempt to be as cool as you. No,
it's a resource, right?
Absolutely.
It's a library. So the idea is, come use this.
Yeah.
That's the idea.
And
if you want,
I love it. Yeah, I don't want to.
Okay.
Not at all. I prefer Reckless Love and Oceans. Just sung every Sunday.
Okay.
No,
I could say so much, but I'm not. I'm not going to say anything because this is being filmed.
He has better filter than I do, apparently.
I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to sit here.
Jeremy did a wonderful job last night, singing some of the songs from his albums. You've got 4, right?
Yeah, 4 out. And
that are out. And then one that's coming up in October, I believe you said.
This fall.
Jeremy wants to come on, or I don't know if he wants to. He's going to come against his will.
I'm going to come
onto the podcast and share about that when it's coming out in the fall. So look for that. But Jeremy is a wonderful resource, somebody that really gets the depth there of hymns, the resource, the invaluable, incalculable thing that they are for the church as our words sung out and sung back to God, and does a great job, I believe, with the songs that he's written, hymns that he's done, redone, and you can find him online at
it's jeremycasella.com, JeremyCasella.com.
The most creative URL I've ever
It's my
heard.
name. Yeah.
Is it actually pronounced Casella?
No.
Not at all.
I know we're driving through the desert of New
We're
Mexico.
going through El Paso.
It's
I feel like it's Casella.
It's Casella.
Jeremy Casella.
It's Italian.
Sorry.
Casella. But it doesn't matter,
Okay.
If you just spell it the right way, I don't care how you say it.
Yeah, and so visit that
www.jeremycasella.com
/I like coffee with milk. What was that about today? Who puts like
I do.
Full, what?
Yeah.
Like not even half and half or cream. Like what is like?
Well, here's
tell
the
me
deal.
the story.
I like good coffee.
Because I was told, yeah.
And creamer, I don't know, man. I usually get whole milk put in there. It's just my thing. I like it.
Okay.
I'm actually a pretty heavy tea drinker as well, so.
Because I was told by a good source that you liked your coffee like a man, and just straight
black. I do like black coffee. I prefer it with milk if I can get it.
Okay. Well, you got milk. I mean, because we gave you the blue M&Ms separated out, in your green room, and black coffee with.
There were no blue M&Ms.
Yeah, no, there wasn't even M&Ms. Well, there was M&Ms in the cookies, but we were glad you came.
I was glad.
And we encourage you to visit www.jeremycasella.com. Find out more. I'm sure you can find them on the YouTubes, the iTunes.
I'm on the Google.
And so check him out, and then look for a podcast with him in the fall as his new CD comes out. His most recent one is Death in Reverse, and phenomenal songs for you to listen to, sing to as you're driving to and from El Paso, in our case. And so until next time, may your coffee be as black as night, unless you are Jeremy Casella, and as bold as the gospel you declare. Have a great day, and God bless. Thank you, Jeremy.
Hey, thanks, man.